Welcome. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to guide you through yoga. We will practice together for 45 minutes today. As we go through class, just a reminder to listen to your body. If any stretches that we work with do not work for your body, please skip them, come on out, and modify. Today's practice will be a wonderful practice for the mind and the body. We'll work on techniques for relaxing the mind, relaxing the body, building flexibility, mobility, and strength. We'll also be doing a variety of seated, standing, and reclining stretches. So if you need to adjust your screen, please do so. And you'll need to have a yoga mat for the practice today. If you would like additional props, feel free to have a block or two close by or a blanket. They are not a necessity for the practice, but they can be helpful in some of the stretches. We'll begin by finding a comfortable seated position. If it works for you, feel free to cross your legs. We'll take an opportunity to close the eyes, giving yourself some time to drop into your body, drop into the breath, drop into the present moment. And as we center here, we'll just take some time to be mindful, to begin to notice where your body connects and touches the ground. As you inhale, see if you can lengthen your spine a little bit more. As you exhale, gently relax your shoulders away from your ears. Let yourself connect to your breath, the inhale and the exhale. And then maybe letting that exhale be just a little bit longer than the inhale. Carry your breath with you through the class today. So breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Try to avoid breathing through the mouth. If you would like, set an intention for class. An intention can be anything. It may be that you want to relax a little bit. Maybe taking this time for some self-care to give back to yourself. Maybe holding tension in the body and wanting to let that go. So there's no right and no wrong intention. We are going to start by extending the right leg out to the side of the room at a little bit of an angle. We'll bring the sole of our left foot to the inside of the right leg. And let's begin to take our right hand down and we'll scoop that left arm up and over. If you wanted even more stretch, you may want to drop down onto your forearm. Maybe you roll that left shoulder back, right shoulder under, heart shines up to the sky. Breath will take you through center, left hand down, right hand lifts. Try to feel grounded evenly in the right sitting bone and also in the left sitting bone. We'll take a breath here. Let's send the hands up. We'll take a twist to the right, so gently sweeping hands to the right side. Variation of a seated spinal twist. Let's try to breathe into the twist for your stomach, your ribs, your chest. Coming back to center, hands reach up. Let's twist to the left. And try to breathe into that back body twist. Breathe into low back, mid back, and upper back. We'll gently release. Let's realign. We're going to take that right hand down to the mat. Let's stretch the left arm up and over. We'll reach for the right side of the head. Take a breath here to lengthen, and then gently soften your left ear to the left shoulder. Let yourself realign. Left hand down, right hand lifts. We'll gently soften right ear to right shoulder. Let's begin to release. We'll realign. Let's float the soles of the feet to touch. We'll take our knees apart. Insides of feet roll from one another. Let's take a full breath here to lengthen. Option to draw your arms into the knees to bring them closer down to the ground, or walk your hands out in front of you. Maybe just let your head hang heavy like a weight. Head relaxes, neck relaxes. We have so many little muscles. They work so hard to hold the head up. So just seeing if you can let them relax, let them release with the breath. We'll begin to flow up through the spine, left leg. Let's extend that off to the left side of the room a little bit of an angle. We'll take the sole of that right foot to the inside of the left leg. Let's float that right hand down, maybe drop down onto the forearm, scooping that right arm up and over. Maybe imagine creating a little bit of space in between the ribs here. Let the breath take you back to center, right hand down, left hand lift. Come back to your breath. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the nose. Back on up, hands can reach, stretch to the sky. Let's sweep hands to the right for our seated spinal twist. On the inhalation, feel your spine lengthen. On the exhalation, let your twist deepen. Reset back to center, hands reach, stretch up. Let's twist to the left. Maybe gaze off your left shoulder. Just noticing if that helps you move a little deeper here into the twist. We'll reset back through to center. Let's gently soften that right hand down. We'll sweep the left arm up and over. Let's reach for the right side of the head. Let's gaze to the underarm on the left side. And gently encourage the head into that stretch here. Reset yourself back to center. Left hand plants, right hand lifts, neck realigns. Gaze to the underarm on the right side. Gently encourage yourself into that stretch. And release. Let's put ourselves back to center. And we're going to meet in a tabletop position. So you can sweep your feet to the right or to the left. As you take your table position, we'll bring our knees in line with our hips. Let's take our wrists in line with our shoulders. We are going to lift our right leg to a variation of a half balancing tabletop. Maybe encourage that right hip to come down a little bit so that your low back is nice and even. We're going to take our right knee to the outside of our left knee. So it's just going to cross over. We're going to do a tap here. And then back to that half balancing table. Exhale, take our tap. Good. Let's take that one 3 more times here with the breath. So focus on the inhale through your nose and the exhale through your nose. We'll set ourselves back to half balancing table, then float the knee down. Couple of rounds of cat and dog stretch here. Gently lower your stomach, lift through your heart. Press the ground away. Let's bring chin to chest, round your back body. Flow with the breath here for a moment. Try to lengthen your spine as you breathe in and lengthen your spine as you breathe out. We'll bring ourselves back to a neutral table. Left leg will float behind, half tabletop. And then we'll take our taps. Let's go for 5 total. So that left knee moves to the outside of your right knee. Maybe allow for a neutral gaze here. Really lengthen the back of your neck. Reach and stretch out through the crown of the head. And we'll reset. Let's put ourselves back into our half balancing table. Knee floats down, lifting to a down dog as you exhale. Toes will curl under, hips lift to the sky. And shake it out a little bit here. So it may feel nice to bend one knee, to bend the other knee, and then maybe relax and shake your head yes. And relax and shake your head no. Now, if the hamstrings are feeling really tight, feel free to bend into those knees if that's needed. Let's take ourselves into stillness. We'll float it back into down dog. Bring the weight back into your heels. Let your hands be light. And almost this feeling like your hands could just lift from the mat. We are going to walk our toes towards the hands. We're going to bring it to a fold at the top of the mat. And then as you bring it to a fold, feel free to shake it out a little bit here, bending one knee, bending the other knee, head shakes yes, and head shakes no. As you find your way into stillness here, we'll bring hands onto the shins, take yourselves to halfway lift, fold yourself down. Inhale, let's take it to standing position, and then gently float your hands to your hearts as you exhale. We'll have our feet in line with our hips. We're going to take that right hand behind the low back, reach for the left hip crease, a little half bind here. Stretch your left arm up and over. Maybe just feel those hips pressing to the left, imagining you could arc your body over an object on the right side. We'll bring it back to center, left arm wraps, right hand lifts. Allow for an even distribution of weight in both of your feet. Let's come back to center, floating the hands in line with your shoulders. Let's take it to one-legged mountain position. Toes can be on the ground. Maybe lift your leg up. Maybe work towards a 90-degree angle here. We'll want to feel nice and grounded in that left foot. Try to press through the inside, through the outside. And then notice your body's natural tendency if you tend to roll in or out a little bit. From here, we'll step into our crescent warrior. So we're going to step that right foot back. We will be right on the toes of the right foot. Have the right heel lifted. Have that nice activation in the right leg. So press firmly through the heel and also firmly through the back of your knee. As you exhale, we'll twist to the left. So that brings us to a revolved crescent warrior. Try to allow for the shoulders to be over the hips. We don't want to be leaning forward or back too much here. You can take your back hand down your back leg. Maybe that front hand scoops up and back for a reverse variation in the twist. Come back to your inhale through the nose. Come back to your exhale through the nose. We are going to slowly unwind to our crescent warrior. Feel the core engage here. Let your tailbone tuck and feel the navel move back and up towards the spine a little bit. Moving into standing pigeon. We're going to step that right foot forward. We're going to hook that right leg over the left, finding your figure 4 hip stretch. Feel free to bend into that left knee and drop the hips back and down. Find that nice activation in the right leg. Encourage the knee down to the ground, activation through the foot. Let's take it to warrior 1 from here. Right foot steps back, right heel lowers down, hands will reach to the sky. Take a breath into the stomach, breathe into the ribs, and breathe into the chest. Hands will move into steeple. Fingers will interlock, release the index fingers. Let's take a breath here to lengthen. Gently soften the hands back. We'll come into a bit of a back bend here. Try to open the chest and open up the heart as best as you can. Let's begin to reset back to warrior 1. We're going to float those hands down. Let's come to our runner's lunge. We're going to step it into our forward fold. So right foot to left, hands to shins for halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, let's take it back on up to mountain. We'll keep those hands reaching and stretching to the sky. Left leg floats up, finding our one-legged mountain pose. Gently relax your shoulders away from the ears. We'll create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down the back body. From here, let's take it to our crescent warrior, also called high lunge warrior. We'll be on the toes of the back foot. We'll find that activation in the back leg. Feel both of your hips and shoulders squaring forward. So you might encourage that left hip and left shoulder forward with the breath. Take an exhale. We will twist to the right. Revolved crescent warrior position. Feel that activation in the hands. Reach forward and reach back. We'll take it to reverse. Let's float the front hand up and back. Back hand can glide down the back leg. You can also wrap the arm around your low back. Maybe reach for the other hip crease. Take a half bind here. We'll reset ourselves back through, landing into our crescent warrior position. Feel the arms really active here. Arms frame the ears. Fingers are active. Reach, stretch through the fingertips. Left foot takes that step forward for standing pigeon. Left leg comes up and over, figure 4 stretch. Drop the hips back and down. Really activate that left leg. Flex your foot. Encourage that left knee back and open a little bit more. Warrior 1, let's step it back. Let's connect back to the breath, working with our deep diaphragmatic breathing, in and out through the nose. Fingers will interlock, release the index fingers. Let's lengthen and we'll gently back bend. Opening chest and heart. Full breath in and full breath out. Let's begin to reset back to warrior one. Hands will float down. Let's come to runner's lunge. We'll find our way into plank. We'll take a high push-up pose. Left hand will lift up. We're going to take our side plank position. So left hand rises up. Feel free to lower that bottom leg down to the ground for a little less. Top leg lifts for more. If both of those legs are off of the ground, you can stack your feet or stagger the feet. Let's take it back into plank. High push-up pose. Right hand, let's float that up. Side plank, second side. Wherever you are in the stretch, really feel that top hip lift up, top hand reaches up. And reset. Let's bring ourselves back to plank. High push-up pose. Lower down chaturanga. We'll bring it to upward facing dog here. Breathe into that nice low back bend, low back stretch, and then down dog as you exhale. So in down dog, really feel the fingers fan out nice and wide. Press through the index finger, press through the thumb. Press the weight back towards your heels. Toes are light, hands are light. Let's bring our knees down. We'll bring it to a child's pose as you exhale, hips to heels. Heart will lower. And then as you take child's pose, a couple of options here. So feel free to have your knees together. That will help you to stretch and open your low back. You can also take your big toes to touch, maybe knees apart, giving a little bit of that leg stretch and hip stretch. And with each exhale, just seeing if you can melt into this resting pose. Take a deep inhale through your nose. On your exhale, down dog. Today we're going to work with flip dog. So if you have any sensitivity in the wrists and the shoulders, just know that you can always skip this one. For flip dog, we'll extend the right leg up. We will bend, stack, and open. And then right foot flips to the left side of your mat. We are going to spin on our feet. So we want our feet planted, our knees bent. Feet are in line with your hips. Hips are lifting up, and then that right hand reaches up and overhead. Let's take ourselves back to a three-limb dog. Right hand down, right leg up, and then right foot steps forward. Let's bring it to a warrior two position. So as you align in warrior two, let your shoulders be right over the hips here. Feel your hands reach forward and back. Let's take it to reverse warrior. Float that front hand up and back. Back hand glides on the back leg. Wrap the arm around your low back. Reach for the other hip crease. Take a half bind. Come on through to a lateral angle. And extended lateral angle, you can always lower that hand down to the ground for a little bit more stretch. Let's ground firmly into the feet. We're going to float ourselves back on up for warrior two. Relax your arms. Let's turn those right toes in. First, we'll line the toes up. Line your heels up. Then we're going to turn the toes out, heel shift in. Hands onto the legs, bend into the knees, and then a gentle swish from side to side. Maybe each time as you move through these stretches, just going a little deeper so knees can bend a little bit more. Having the hands on the legs, let's press that right hand into the right leg. We're going to drop that right shoulder down. Let your left shoulder spin open. And just feel that your heart is shining right up to the sky. Bring it back to center. Full breath here. Lengthen. Let's twist to the other side. Try to feel the weight even in both of your feet. We don't want to press too hard in one foot and then get really light in the other foot. We're going to bring it back to center. 5 pointed star. Legs will straighten. Hands reach up. Back bend here. So press your hips forward. Open your chest. Open your heart. As you come up to neutral, we will turn our toes in. So toes line up, heels line up. Folding down as you exhale, coming to that wide-legged forward fold. Feel free to shake it out a little bit here. It may feel nice to bend one knee, to bend the other knee. Maybe head shakes, relaxes, yes. Head shakes and relaxes, no. As you find stillness, let's walk those hands out in front for a down dog with the legs wide. Try to bring the weight back into your heels. Let your hands be light. And then almost feeling like the hands could just lift from the mat. Walking your hands under your body and then walking right underneath you. So we're going to go a little deeper here into the forward folds. Maybe roll the weight into your toes. Heels are light. Head relaxes. And we'll release. Let's begin to walk our hands to frame our front foot. That will bring us to a runner's lunge. Find your way back into plank. Come into a high push-up pose. Lower down, chaturanga. We'll take up dog here. Breathe into the mid-back bend. Down dog as you exhale. Let's take that left leg up. We will bend, stack, and open. Option for flip dog. So you're just flipping that left foot to the right side of the mat. Left hand to the sky. Both of the feet are planted. Both of the knees are bent. Hips are lifting to the sky. Reset yourself back. 3-limbed dog. Float it forward. Rise to warrior 2 position. Activating the feet here. The feet won't actually move, but almost imagine that you could pull your feet in towards one another. Imagining that there were magnets on the feet. You could draw them in towards the center line of your body. Reverse, we're going to bring it up and back. Maybe try to bend a little deeper into that front knee. Body's natural tendency is to straighten that leg. Let's take it down to a lateral angle. Maybe extended lateral angle. Option with that top hand, hand to the sky, maybe arm frames your ear. And you can always half bind here. Maybe you wrap the arm around your low back. Ground firmly to your feet. Let's take it on up. Warrior 2. Arms relax, leg relaxes. Let's turn those left toes in. So first we have toes in line, heels in line. Then we'll take it to a goddess stretch. Toes turn out, heels shift in. Arms will sweep to 90-degree angle. Let your tailbone tuck here. Really lengthen your low back. Lengthen through your spine. Left elbow to left knee. Let's try for a little tap here. Breath to center. Exhale. Let's take right to right. We'll go side to side with the breath. And back to center. Reset to that 5-pointed star. Hands up, hips forward, back bending. Forward fold with legs wide. So a little reset on feet. Toes line up, heels line up. Pull down as you exhale. Let's take that right hand in front of our face. Left hand lifts on exhale for a twist. Try to bring a little bit more weight into that right foot. So low back is nice and even. Left hand down, right hand lifts. Exhale, twist. Feel that left hip lifting up. Imagine that you could balance a book on your low back. Let's begin to release the hand down. We're going to walk our hands to frame the front foot. Find your way to a runner's lunge. Step back to plank. We will lower all the way down to the mat. Working with the shoulder stretch and opening. Let's start by bringing our left hand to the left side of the room. You will have your hand in line with your shoulder. You'll feel your palm face down. Feel free to stay where you're at. If you'd like a little bit more, you can roll onto the left side of your body. You can have that right leg coming up and over for a little kickstand support. For a little bit more, you can also wrap that right arm around your low back, reach for the other hip crease, take a half bind here. Let's take some time to just close the eyes. Try to relax the eyebrows, relax the jaw. Try to relax the back of the head, the back of the neck. Relax the shoulders, the arms, the hands. Relaxing the upper, mid, and low back. Relax the legs. Relax the feet. We'll gently unwind the pose. We'll return back to our stomach. Let's extend that right arm off to the right side. We'll have our hand in line with the shoulder. Just be mindful that your palm is facing down. We'll roll onto the right side body. We'll have that left leg come up and over if that works for you. You can also wrap that arm around your low back. Maybe take time here to just close the eyes. Try to clear the mind of thoughts. If you have thoughts in the mind, gently release them. Turn your awareness back to your breath, back to the present moment. And so as you take the stretches on the second side of the body, we notice if it feels a bit easier on the side to the first side we worked on. It might be more challenging on the side. We're just noticing the body's natural tendency, the body's natural movement patterns. We are going to release. Let's press into a tabletop position. And from table, let's bring it into seated. As you come to seated, let's bring our hands onto the shoulders. We're going to float our elbows forward. We'll take them up. We'll relax them back and down. Full breath in. Release. And one more time here. So let's take ourselves down onto the back body. We're going to work with a hip opener. We're going to work with our reclining pigeon pose. So for this stretch, bring your right leg up and over. We'll create a figure 4 pose here. Then feel free to have your left foot down on the ground. If you'd like, you can reach for the back of your leg. You can reach for the front of your leg. You can also take both of the arms around both of the legs. Feel free to hold stillness here. You can also do a little rock if you'd like, a little rock and shift to the right, and a little rock and shift to the left. Maybe just feel yourself moving into the stretch. So this is a wonderful stretch for your low back. It's a wonderful stretch for your hips and your legs. If you would like a little bit more sensation in the pose, you can flex your right foot and you can encourage your right knee away from your face. So you can just find a bit of activation in that right leg. And then from here, we're going to take this pose to part 2. So you'll just have your legs in the figure 4 position, and then you'll drop everything to the left side. And as best as you can, you'll try to plant your right foot. If that feels challenging, you can always lift your left hip up, scooch it under you, and that might be a little bit more accessible. You can press your right knee away from your face. That's going to give you a little bit more of a stretch. And if you're still looking for more stretch, the foot that's planted, you can move it up towards your face. So you can just use that left knee to kind of scooch that leg a bit higher up the mat towards the face. Maybe take some time here to just close the eyes. Try to feel your breath. Gently move in your nose. Gently move out your nose. Finding that length on inhale. Finding that length on exhale. Maybe letting that exhale be just a little bit longer than the inhale. Begin to unwind the pose. As you come back onto your back body, let's bring our left leg up and over. We'll take that figure 4 stretch. You can reach for the back of your leg or front of the leg. Both of the arms around both of the legs. Maybe a little rock side to side, maybe finding stillness. And then we all hold tension. Even sometimes when we think that we're so relaxed, we still hold tension in the jaw and the eyebrows. So maybe you can just gently scan your own body. Where do you hold tension? You let that tension go as you exhale. Let's move into the second part of the stretch. So we'll keep our legs in this position. We will drop the legs off to the right. We're going to aim to stamp that left foot down on the ground. You can press your hand into the knee to go a little deeper. You can let the eyes close or soften the gaze. And then knowing that you can always intensify this stretch by letting that left foot slide up towards the face even more. This stretch is really nice for the IT band. So stretching the outside of your left leg, stretching in through the hips, legs, and low back. And then we'll begin to release. We'll take our feet out to the edges of our mats. Knees will be bent, and a gentle drop of the knees to the left and to the right. From here, we'll begin to work with Shavasana. We'll take some relaxation time. So if you feel that you need to take a final stretch or final movement, feel free to do that. Feel free to relax the legs, relax the arms. If you feel that your low back tends to be sensitive, you can always bend your knees and plant your feet. That's an active rest stretch. And another option, if you're looking for more of a hip stretch, we did some really nice hip opening stretches tonight. So if you wanted to come into Supta Baddha Konasana, this is where we take the soles of the feet to touch, the knees come apart. Feel free to take that variation as well. We'll just take a little time here in stillness and silence to integrate the benefits of our class today into our minds, into our body. Become aware of how you feel in this moment. Feel the relaxation in your mind and your body. Feel the tranquility in the mind and the body. Noticing the effects of yoga on your mind and on your body. Making your way to your side, you can roll to a fetal position. Just holding fetal pose, just letting the body take the posture. We'll make our way up. We'll find our way to seated. As you come to seated, let's put the hands into the heart in prayer. Closing the eyes or finding a gentle gaze. Let's end our practice with gratitude. Take a moment to think of something in your life that you're grateful for. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you enjoyed the practice. Please leave me any questions or comments or feedback in the chat. I look forward to being with you tomorrow. We will have mindful stretch at 3 o'clock East Coast time. That's 15 minutes of stretching on the mat. I'll also be back later on this week on Friday for chair yoga, 10 o'clock East Coast time. So some stretching at your desk in your chair. I hope that you have a lovely evening today, and I'll see you next time.